Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back here to the Light to the Nations, to our weekly study of the Word of YaHuWaH, the Torah portion. And it's so good to see all of you here connected with us in the chat. You know, it's such a blessing to see the love between all of you. You know, we were just reading some of the comments over there, just the greeting between each other. And we are so happy that you are able to connect with us in this cycle of studies. We feel the same type of love in our heart for all of you. And we are blessed to be part of this family. This is a small flock, but with so much love.
Yeah.
And we are so happy to see Susan as well with us. Yeah. We just managed to see Susan Grogan is with us. And so many of you actually. So I really hope that you have been having a wonderful week. You know, YaHuWaH has been with us in a mighty way. You know, we were finishing our fasting on Monday evening.
And thanks for those who could join us. Yeah, because it was really beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I really hope that in the same way that Abba was answering our prayers, that He was answering your prayers too. You know, we were when we finished our fast on Monday evening, we were just having a chicken soup, with some salads. And the two of us, we were talking about how much we have to appreciate the blessings from Abba. You know, the only fact of having food in our tables and to be able to taste what YaHuWaH has created in itself is a blessing. And sometimes when we're going through fasting periods is when we appreciate even more those blessings, because we understand what it means to have no food. And, you know, we don't need to wait for those times. I think we need to appreciate the blessings from Abba in a day-to-day basis, because He is the one that is creating everything. He is the one that is the source of everything. And I can tell you is that, you know, YaHuWaH has been answering prayers in a beautiful way. We are so excited, and we have so much joy in our heart because He's doing the mighty things with us. And I can tell you is that He manifested Himself in a mighty and beautiful way, like in the old times. You know, I told you, like in the old times.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. And I think it's a kind of confirmation, at least for me, is that He's doing and He's preparing something for all of us. He's preparing something for His people in these days. And you know, we were just talking before the broadcast is that it seems that we will need to start fasting even more often.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, you know, even this week when after we broke the fast, we have been dreaming a lot. We have receiving a lot of dreams, and I can tell you one of them, actually many of them were very prophetic, related to the end times. And but I particularly one of them I had two nights ago. It was a beautiful one that I'm not gonna share now. I think I need to prepare more material to share the content of the dream, but it's a beautiful dream that it touched my heart because I think it's a kind of, again, confirmation that Allah is preparing something for all of us. And we need to prepare our heart for what He's going to do among His people. We have an important role to fulfill, as we have been talking for years already in these times. And we need to prepare ourselves to fulfill that role, that task. And I think we are being built up little by little by learning the way of YaHuWaH, by studying His Word. But as I said during the trip to some of you, and the trip to the States some time ago, the time is coming for the Ruach to act in us in a mighty way. So we need to be prepared for that, because we are already receiving all the tools and all the weapons in order to fight this battle, this spiritual battle. So today we will continue with
Pinechas or Pinechas.
Pinechas or Pinchas. Is mouth of brass, mouth of brass, or mouth of copper, or mouth of serpent. I have seen the two translations.
Yeah.
But brass, I don't think so.
Yeah, it should be copper.
Because yes, brass is not a natural metal.
Yeah, and always when it was written that it was brass or bronze, it was copper.
That's true. So it's going through chapter 25 until the end of chapter 30. Actually, it's just one verse from the.
Yeah.
Actually, it's until the end of chapter 29. It's just one verse of the chapter 30. So we will see how, how we are being guided, all of us, in this study today. I'm going to remind all of you to, if you have any prayer request, go ahead, put the comment in the chat. We need to keep prayers for one another. I will ask prayer for my eye. I have an issue with my eye that started to happen in 2018, but it appeared again this week, and it's not letting me to see that much with my right eye. So keep my right eye in your prayers, so just to receive restoration. So if you have a prayer request, please put it in the chat. We need to pray for one another. Anything else you want to add before we go to the?
I was thinking about the meaning of the name of Pinechas or Pinchas, because mouth of brass is like an image, like the brass, the color, maybe if it was brass or copper, it was something like kind of red, like fire. So I imagine, it's only my imagination, but maybe he was kind of bold for talking and for doing and expressing. So I think that is kind of fire coming out of his mouth.
It could be. And I think it also somehow is somehow connected to a parallel that I did a few years ago with the Mashiach. But let's keep those things maybe for the reading and the insight. So, without the further delay, let's move on. I have a song to share with you. So here we go.
כבשת את ליבי בכל כוחי ומאודי אהלה אותך הללו הללו הללויה הללו הללו הללויה Hallelujah, hallelujah.
should be our prayer every day, right?
Yeah.
So let's pray together. YaHuWaH Elohim, Elohim of Israel, we come before your presence in this moment with all our heart, seeking your face and giving all the worship and praises to you, because you are the only true Elohim, and you are the only worthy to receive our praises. I want to give thanks to you because you have chosen us to be part of your people, because you have put your Ruach within us, and you have invited us to be part of your covenant through the offering of your Son Yahushua HaMashiach. Thank you, Abba, for your Shabbat, because you have established your Shabbat as a sign between you and your people Israel. Thank you, Abba, because we are your people Israel, you are, and you are our Elohim. We are the remnant in these times, Abba. And as the remnant we want to be close to you. We want to serve you with all our hearts. And we want to seek your face continually, knowing that only in you, YaHuWaH, we find hope. Only in you, YaHuWaH, we find the truth, and we have an expectation of a better life in your kingdom. We invite you in this moment, in this gathering. We invite your presence to be among us. And we ask you, Abba, that you can touch our hearts with your Ruach, that you can touch our heart, filling us with your wisdom in order to understand your word, in order to grow in your truth. In this moment, I ask you, Abba, that you can guide our steps, that you can guide the steps of your children that are here with us, that you can guide the steps of your children that maybe are seeing this study later on. But most importantly, Abba, that you can guide the steps of all your people in this generation, that we can serve you with full heart, that we can hear your voice, Abba, and be obedient children in order to fulfill the role you have assigned to us in these times. I pray for anyone that is going through some kind of needs, everyone that is going through sickness, everyone that is going through trials, that you can be with them, that you can be with us, that we can trust in you completely, and we can wait in you, because you are the source of everything, O YaHuWaH. We want to tell you, Abba, in this moment that we love you with all our hearts, that we trust in you, that we are your people, and that you, YaHuWaH Sebaot, you are our Elohim. Thank you, Abba, because I know that you are with us. Thank you, Abba, because you are the one producing shalom, joy, and love among us. Thank you, Abba, for everything you do for us, and especially for your Son Yahushua HaMashiach, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. And he is the one giving us the opportunity to be called your children and son of Elohim. Thank you, Abba, for everything you do and for listening to our voices. We pray to you in the mighty name of your Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
Opa. You know, something happened to me. You need to try to understand a little bit. After the fasting, I'm very emotional. So you see me cry, you know why. I feel something really,
Strong.
yeah,
And I think that sometimes you cannot contain that.
that's true. Thank you.
I don't know if that it was.
That was what I wanted to say.
Okay.
You know, you were like Aaron and I was Moshe. But that was good. And that's the way to work. So let's move on. Let's go to the portion 60 seconds. Here we go.
Shalom and welcome to Parsha in 60 Seconds. Today's portion is from Numbers 25:10-31. It is called Pinechas. After the sin of Baal Peor, God granted Pinechas the pact of friendship and priesthood for all time because of his passion. God tells Moses to attack the Midianites because of their shenanigans with Baal Peor. God instructs Moses and Eleazar to count all the Israelite men 20 years old and up. The census results in a total of 601,730. Moses divides and gives out land portions to all the generations that would not be entering the promised land. Caleb and Joshua and all who were under a month old were not given land. The daughters of Zelophehad requested a land holding, and God granted it. Moses climbs Mount Abarim and sees Israel for the first and last time. Moses appoints Joshua as the new leader. God tells Moses to command the Israelites to be punctual in presenting the offerings to God. Offerings for regular days, the Sabbath, Rosh Hashanah, Passover, Shavuot, Rosh Chodesh, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and Shmini Atzeret are then instructed in great detail, and that is Pinechas in 60 seconds.
Pinechas in 60 seconds. So let's move on. I have the scripture here. So let's start. I think it's my turn, right?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah,
Okay.
I can do it. So we finished the last portion on the verse 9 of the chapter 25. So let's continue reading the entire passage, and I think we can share some things here. So it says, starting in the verse 10. And YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe, saying, Pinechas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was ardent with my ardor in their midst, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my ardor. Therefore say, See, I am giving him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and to his seed after him a covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was ardent for his Elohim, and made atonement for the children of Israel. And the name of the man of children
Of Israel.
Oh, thank you. And the name of the man of Israel who was struck with the Midianite woman was Imri, son of Salu, a leader of the father's house among the Shimonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was struck was Cosbi, the daughter of Sur. He was head of the people of a father's house in Midian. And YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe, saying, Distress the Midianites, and you shall strike them, for they distressed you with their tricks, with which they deceive you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of the leader of Midian, their sister, who was struck in the day of the plague because of Peor. So let's put one thing straightforward first is regarding the matter of Peor. And I think I didn't mention it last week. I said that I was going to mention it this week. It's just to confirm through the scripture is it was Bilam the one giving the counsel to Balak on how to put the stumbling block on the children of Israel. And I think we have the first witness in the book of Revelation, just trusting in my memory and in the Ruach mainly. Chapter 2, verse 14. In the message to the seven assemblies, it says the following: But I hold a few matters against you, because you have there those who adhere to the teaching of Bilam, who taught Balak to put a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat food offered to idols, and to commit whoring. So we were reading in the portion last week, there's nothing about that.
Yeah. So here we have the wow.
Here we have the evidence is that after the Balak
left.
Shalach, that's the Hebrew word if I remember well, sent out Bilam back to his house because he kept blessing and not cursing. Something happened in between that period of time and the matter of Peor. And the first evidence of what happened is here. Was Bilam. And most probably he was so interested because there are other passages in the book of YaHuWaH and so on that somehow it did tell us that he was so ambitious that maybe he wanted to have the money, the silver. And that's why he thought in this idea and he was given this counsel.
Yeah, it's a thought, Balak.
Yes. And we have a second evidence of that, and it's in the same book of Bemidbar, Numbers. It's in the chapter 31. And it's here in the verse 16. Look, they are the ones who caused, and let's read the 15. And Moshe said to them, have you kept all the women alive? Look, they are the ones who caused the children of Israel through the word of Bilam to trespass against YaHuWaH in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of YaHuWaH. So we have the two witnesses, just to confirm with the word of YaHuWaH, is that was Bilam given the counsel on how to put a trap in the children of Israel. Now, one thing is the trap, the other thing is the condition of the heart. It can be is that we are going to face traps all over the places, all the time. But it can be is that we're going to fall into the trap. You know, we need to be strong enough in order to overcome the trials. And that's the issue of the children of Israel. They were unable to do it. So that's the first thing to put the right away. But I don't know, you have a few things to share as well here, right? In the 25.
Well, what I realized, we were talking about the meaning of the names.
Oh, and that's an important thing.
Yeah, because it if we read, it's a simri, and that's meaning my song or my music.
Or music.
My music. Yeah. And the name of the woman was Cosby. That's false, or my lie.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, we can see that maybe something that is so precious, that's something that is a way to worship Abba, it was turned into something that is false. Mm-hmm. So it can be used in the wrong way.
Yes.
And you were telling me something that it was very interesting.
Yeah, but let me say something about that first, because this indication of the meaning of the name is really important. You know, if we can put it right up front, we can say it's false music. This is what was happening. False music coming to the close to the. My English today is very awful.
Is the
most probably. Coming close to the tabernacle, to the place where YaHuWaH was dwelling among the children of Israel.
Yeah.
So false music coming to the place of worship, to say so. And all of you know that I like music. That's why I started to play music before in Virtual House Church, and now in the gathering we're having here in the Light to the Nations. I like to play music. I think most of you know that my background, basically my entire life was going to church as a pastor kid. And I was in charge of music. I learned to play different music instruments in church, self-taught, or YaHuWaH's taught. So music, I really love music. I like to play my guitars and so on. But I can tell you that music is a tricky thing. And I'm going to be very direct and careful on what I'm going to say. And this is something that you need to meditate in your own hearts. Music can be used as a distraction. And in the same way that happened to the children of Israel, that they fall into the trap of Bilam, I have seen during my years people at church falling on the same type of trap of music. And I have to tell you, I'm very concerned that today we see music all over the place. I'm playing music here in this gathering because I think music has an important role on the praises and worship of YaHuWaH. We know we have been reading Torah. We know the Leviim or the Levites were in charge of praising YaHuWaH during the offerings. So we know this is an important thing. But music is moving the emotions of the people. And what's happening, and that's the trap that many people are falling down, is that they are focusing in the emotion instead of focusing in the Ruach. And there is a very thin line between the two of them, because I can tell you by my own experience. I just mentioned something after the prayer. When you are focusing yourself in the Ruach of Elohim, is the Ruach the one working through your emotions and producing something, just showing that powerful thing of the Ruach within you through your emotions. You know, sometimes when you're praying, you cannot contain the tears because you feel the presence of YaHuWaH and the Ruach of Elohim. But what's going on with music? People are being so touched sometimes by the emotion that their focus is in the emotion instead of focusing in the truth, instead of focusing in the Ruach of Elohim. So we need to be so careful. And we need to identify the false from the truth, even when we're talking about worshiping Allah. And what Lillian was mentioning a moment ago is something. When I was coming this morning, I was praying, Allah touched my heart again. It was a beautiful thing. And He touched me through worship, because I was listening and singing. And He showed me something related to this portion. And what is it about? It says that, let's go to the previous portion from yesterday in the chapter 25, in the same chapter.
From the last week.
From the last week. You know, it was your turn last week that the cables in your brain was somehow messed up. Yeah. I remember. Now it's my week.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And, you know, that's funny. Yeah. So it says the following in the verse 7. And when Pinechas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a spear in his hand. Okay? And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So false music being somehow destroyed in what place of the body?
The belly.
In the belly.
The belly area.
What YaHuWaH said, and this translation is not. It's much easier to see it in the King James, but we're gonna read it here anyway in the scripture version. YaHuWaH said in the chapter 7 of the book of John, verse 38, the following: as the scripture said, out of his innermost, the King James said, out of his belly, shall flow rivers of living water. And this he said concerning the Ruach, which those believing in him were about to receive to the set apart spirit was not yet given. So I see a direct connection here on what I was sharing with you about not focusing ourselves in the emotions produced by the music, is to seek the face of YaHuWaH and the manifestation of the Ruach of Elohim in our belly. Because when you feel the Ruach of Elohim, you feel something within you that is trying to get out, like rivers.
Yeah. Like a volcano explosion, maybe.
Like
something like
explosion that sometimes you cannot contain. So I think it's not a coincidence that we see exactly this happening in this portion. this meaning of the names, a reference of the belly, everything in connection to the Ruach of Elohim and our worship and praises to Allah.
And if it says false, because it says hair belly, it's the false source, because
Yes.
it's a different source. The other source that we have is from YaHuWaH.
Mhm.
From there is that where we are going to have that rivers of water. And I think that is a kind of a comparison. And what I also call my attention about this, sorry, can I?
For sure.
I'm already
Please,
talking.
go ahead.
I'm already talking. It says that he received this covenant of shalom, covenant of peace, because he was the one turning back the wrath of YaHuWaH. So can you see the opposite? The wrath and the reward is a covenant of peace.
That's
And
true.
then if you see what Mashiach turned back, he overcome over what?
I'm not giving you my backpack. I need to take my
Yeah,
notes.
yeah, yeah. And Mashiach, he was overcoming something especially. Death. Because death
Suffering
was,
and death. That's true.
yeah. And what he received is like the power over life. So when you are struggling and when you are defeating, overcoming something, then the reward is going to be the opposite, what YaHuWaH wants to give you. So that's why maybe sometimes we are tried, I don't know, in different aspects. Everybody has a different trial. Maybe that is what we need to overcome, and then we are going someday when YaHuWaH wants, he is going to he's going to give us that reward where we are being tried and tried. I don't know. I think that it was kind of beautiful.
And it is beautiful. It is beautiful, and I think it somehow is connected to the document that Debbie was sharing with us this week. You know, that's for me what is the meaning of be really ordained for the word of YaHuWaH, for the kingdom of YaHuWaH. There are so many examples that we see in the scriptures. You know, we have the Levites in the wilderness after the golden calf. They were ardent for YaHuWaH. That they were against their own brothers that were sinning. Eliyahu is another example that we were talking recently with the 400 false prophets of Baal. He was ardent for the word of YaHuWaH. And the disciples of Mashiach and so on. And this is a perfect example of Pinechas. And why I see a connection to what Debbie was sharing with us the other day is that it's about our focus. What was the focus of Pinechas?
Stop the wrath of YaHuWaH.
Yes. And the focus of him was the kingdom of
Like
in
remove
some way
the bad leaven
is
immediately.
to keep the set apartness.
Yeah.
Is to think as YaHuWaH thinks, feels as YaHuWaH feels, act as YaHuWaH acts. Because YaHuWaH was outpouring his wrath. And actually, Pinechas, what he was doing, he was acting in wrath in order to remove sin, in order to keep Kodeshah, set apartness. So we can be focusing something totally different. You know, we were reading last week is that the people were crying and praying to Allah because of the sin of the people among Israel. We can be in a passive mode, just taking a look and focusing only in the bad things that are happening. You know, we can be focused on the destruction that is around us. That could be related to the wrath of YaHuWaH, could be related to trials or anything else. We know that YaHuWaH is in control and he is allowing everything to happen. But what is going to be our focus? Isn't the world falling down? Or our focus will be on the will of YaHuWaH and to do the will of YaHuWaH. And for me, that's the perfect example of Pinechas. He didn't stood there, they just in a passive mode. He felt something, and I'm so sure it was the Ruach of Elohim working through him, moving him to do something.
He was an instrument.
Yes. So that should be our focus. Do you have anything else here?
From that chapter.
Yes.
And we mentioned that he was from what tribe or not? Because
we can mention it later. It's
Later?
gonna be much
Okay.
easier to connect it to the other thing. I think. I'm just taking a look in my notes from the last year, and I think it's worth to re-mention this. That doing a parallel of Pinechas and YaHuWaH, we see that somehow he is a foreshadow of Mashiach. Because Pinechas somehow removed sin among people. YaHuWaH did exactly the same. Pinechas made atonement for the children of Israel. It is written that in that way in this chapter. YaHuWaH did exactly the same. It says that Pinechas turned back the wrath of YaHuWaH. YaHuWaH is doing exactly the same. We are not appointed to wrath. So by keeping the hand of YaHuWaH HaMashiach, we're being saved from the wrath of YaHuWaH. What else? Pinechas got a covenant of eternal kehunah, eternal priesthood. YaHuWaH is our eternal high priest, Kohen HaGadol. And actually it's beautiful because when we see the genealogy, it's on the same family tree.
Yeah.
One of the translation of his name of Pinechas is mouth of serpent, and YaHuWaH, and we talked about this last week, pictured himself as the seraph that was lifted up by Moshe in the desert. And this is also interesting, is that Pinechas pierced the man in the belly for atonement. YaHuWaH was pierced in his side as part of the atonement sacrifice he made. So those things for me are really interesting because I somehow are connecting, they're family blood related somehow, but most important than that is that the foreshadow of Mashiach, seeing it in different roles and different servants from the past. So I think it's a beautiful picture. Let's move on to chapter 26.
Okay. And it came to be after the plague that YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe and Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, saying, "Take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and above, with their fathers' houses, everyone going out to the army in Israel." So Moshe and Eleazar, the priests, spoke with them in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho, saying, "Take a census of the people from 20 years old and above." And YaHuWaH commanded Moshe and the children of Israel who came out of the land of Mizraim. Reuben, firstborn of Israel, son of Reuben. Of Hanok, the clan of Hanokites. Of Palu, the clan of the Paluites. Of Hezron, the clan of Hezronites. Of Carmi, the clan of Carmites. These are the clans of the Reubenites, and their registered ones were 43,730. And the sons of Palu, Eliab. And the sons of Eliab, Nemuel and Datan and Abiram. These Datan and Abiram were the called ones of the congregation, who contended against Moshe and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when they contended against YaHuWaH. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah, when that company died, when the fire consumed 250 men, and they became a sign. But the sons of Korah did not die.
That's really interesting.
Interesting. So, do you want to say something? No?
Do you want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That here we have the proof that they were convinced that what their father was doing was not right. So the sons, at the moment that where the father was going astray with all the rest of the men, they decided to step aside and to move and not to do what his own father was doing. So
Actually-
that is something really beautiful.
Actually, the commandment from YaHuWaH through Moshe,
Yeah.
when we were reading about the story of Korah, is that to depart from the
Yeah.
evil man.
Yeah.
So
So
the
they did.
only thing to be saved is that they did it. They depart themselves. They went away from their own dad,
Yeah. Yeah.
their own daddy. And I think that also is somehow an example of being ardent, fervent for YaHuWaH. To believe in YaHuWaH
Yeah.
is to have the fear of YaHuWaH in the heart. And when I remember I was talking about this last year, it came to mind what Yahushua said. It's written in YaHuWaH and other books as well. Is that at the end times, even the own family, the same people living under the same roof, are going to be delivering themselves, one another.
Yeah.
So, or hating one another. So I think this also speaking tones to all of us.
Yeah.
Is that again we can see traps around us, but the most important thing is the condition of our hearts. Is that we need to have the fear of YaHuWaH, because the fear of YaHuWaH is our strength.
Yeah, our loyalty is with Him first.
Exactly. And that's why the first commandment of all is to love YaHuWaH with all our hearts. So if we are focused on the goal, we are not going to miss it.
Yeah.
And what is our goal? Is to reach the kingdom. Is to be part of the kingdom, is to cross the Jordan. That should be our top priority, our focus. It's something that we should remind every day. And from that point of view, everything else is connected. Following the way of YaHuWaH, because by following the way of YaHuWaH, we're going to reach destination. Serving YaHuWaH with the duty He has assigned to us, because it's part of following YaHuWaH. Living a life of Kodeshah, set apartness. Everything is connected, but it should be connected to our focus. We can, every time that we look to the right or to the left, we get distracted. This is the same thing that we were talking about, what happened to us last night. We got distracted last night, and we felt that something was missing.
Yeah.
And this is exactly when we deviate our attention to the right or to the left. We are missing the focus. We can fall into the trap. That doesn't mean, and we need to be in balance on being watchman on the wall.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we are going to be isolated from the world. On the contrary.
We need to understand what's going on. We need to be informed what's going on. When I'm talking about focus, it's a condition of the mind. And it's a condition of the heart. If we are so entertained on the worries, and Yahushua was talking about that, the worries of the world, our heart will be there. But if our treasure is in the word of YaHuWaH, our treasure is the kingdom of YaHuWaH, that's going to be our focus of our heart. Even though that we are listening, even though that we are seeing what's going on, even though that we are keeping attention on what's happening in the world in order to understand the time and the seasons, in order to bring light to those in darkness, our heart won't be attached to those things, won't be focused on those things. Our heart will be focused on the kingdom of YaHuWaH in the same way of the sons of Korah. Their focus was in YaHuWaH, not in his own father.
And I don't know why I relate this to the words that Mashiach told to that young man when he was asking him, follow me. And he said, yeah, but let me go and bury my father first. And he was telling Yahushua, the answer was, let the dead bury the dead. It's because he's already dead. You cannot do anything. Don't go back there. And I think that is the meaning. No going to the things that produce death. Now you have life. This is the way. It's not because he was cruel or something like that. No, it's not because of the feeling. No, I think that was the real meaning.
Giving our heart to Him.
Yeah, because here is life.
And this is the question we need to ask ourselves every day. Are we giving our hearts to YaHuWaH? You know, it's something you need to ask in your prayers. You know, it's just to connect in a so deeper way when you're praying to Allah, listening to His voice, understanding yourself internally, if you are being truthful to YaHuWaH, or if you are just saying with your lips. And if you're saying with your lips, you know, we all failed, all of us. The important thing is that we are in that situation that maybe we're not giving the heart to YaHuWaH. At the moment we discover that situation, we need to change immediately. And we need to go from here, from our core, to tell YaHuWaH that we want to give our hearts to Him. And He will listen to your voice. So this is something so important that is more important than ever in these times, that we are walking according to His will, that we are giving our heart to Him, and we are letting Him to touch our heart and to change our heart and to renew our minds. Let's continue. If not, I'm gonna contain myself.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Son of Shimon, according to their clans, of Nemuel, the clan of the Nemuelites, of Yamin, the clan of the Yaminites, of Yahin, the clan of the Yahinites, of Serach, the clan of the Sarhites, of Shaul, the clan of the Shaulites. These are the clans of the Shimonites, 22,200. Sons of Gad, according to their clans, of Zephon, the clan of the Zephonites, of Hagi, the clan of the Haggites, of Shuni, the clans of Shunites, of Osni, the clan of the Osnites, of Eri, the clan of Erites, of Arod, the clan of the Arodites, of Areli, the clan of the Arelites. These are the clans of the sons of Gad according to the registered ones, 40,500. Sons of Yehuda, Anonan, and Anonan died in the land of Canaan. Yeah, we remember that story.
With Tamar, right?
With Tamar, the story. Yeah. These were the first one. And sons of Yehuda according to their clans of Selah, the clan of the Selanites, of Peretz, the clan of the Peretzites, of Serach, the clan of the Sarhites, and son of Peretz of Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the clan of the Hamulites.
You're gonna become an expert at pronouncing these names with this
No, but
person.
it's so difficult. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm trying to, because it's
ahead.
different in English, in Spanish, in Hebrew, so I don't know what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
And these are the clans of Yehuda according to their registered ones, 76,500. Sons of Yisachar according to their clans, of Tola, the clan of the Tolaites, of Pua, the clan of the Punites, of Yashub, the clan of the Yashubites, of Shimron, the clan of the Shimronites. These are the clans of Yisachar according to their registered ones, 64,300. Sons of Zebulun according to their clans, of Sered, the clan of the Sardites, of Elon, the clan of the Elonites, of Yaaleel, the clan of the Yaaleelites. These are the clans of the Zebulunites according to the registered ones, 60,500. Sons of Yahusef according to their clans, by Manasseh and Ephraim. Sons of Manasseh, of Mahir, the clan of the Mahirites, and Mahir brought forth Gilad, of Gilad, the clan of the Giladites. These are the sons of Gilad, of Iezer, the clan of the Iezerites, of Helek, the clan of the Helekites, of Asriel, the clan of the Asrielites, of Shechem, the clan of the Shechemites, of Shemida, the clan of the Shemidites, of Hefer, the clan of the Heferites, of Zelophehad, son of Hefer, and Zelophehad, son of Hefer, had no sons, but daughters, and the name of the daughters of Zelophehad, Mahla, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the clans of Manasseh, and their registered ones, 52,700.
Want me to help you?
Yeah.
I can continue.
Okay, you can continue. Yeah.
These are the sons of Ephraim according to their clans. Of Shudelach, the clan of the Shudalechites. Of Becher, the clan of the Bachrites. Of Tahan, the clan of the Tahanites. And these are the sons of Shudelach, of Eran, the clan of the Eranites. These are the clans of the sons of Ephraim according to their registered ones. 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph according to their clans. Sons of Benjamin according to their clans. Of Bela, the clans of the Belaites. Of Ashbel, the clans of the Ashbelites. Of Ahiram, the clan of the Ahiramites. Of Shephufam, the clan of the Shephufamites. Of Hufam, yeah, it sounds funny. Of Hufam, the clan of the Hufamites. And sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman. Of Ard, the clan of the Ardites. Of Naaman, the clan of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin, according to their clans, and the registered ones, 45,600. These are the sons of Dan, according to their clans. Of Shuhan, the clan of the Shuhamites. These are the clans of Dan according to their clans. All the clans of the Shuhamites, according to the registered ones, 64,400. Sons of Asher, according to their clans. Of Jimnah, the clans of the Jimnahites. Of Yishwi, the clans of the Yishwites. Of Beriah, the clans of the Beriaites. Of the sons of Beriah. Of Heber, the clan of the Heberites. Of Malkiel, the clan of the Malkielites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Serach. These are the clans of the sons of Asher according to the registered ones, 53,400. Sons of Naphtali according to their clans. Of Yachzeel, the clan of the Yachzeelites. Of Guni, the clan of the Gunites. Of Jetzer, the clan of the Jetzerites. Of Shilem, the clan of the Shilemites. These are the clans of Naphtali according to their clans, and the registered ones, 45,400. These are the registered ones of the children of Israel, 601,730. Want to finish it?
Okay. And YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe, saying, the land is to be divided to this as an inheritance according to the numbers of names. To the large one you give a larger inheritance, and to the small one you give a smaller inheritance. Each shall be given its inheritance according to the registered ones. But the land is divided by lot. They inherit according to the names of the tribes of their fathers. According to the lot, their inheritance is divided between the larger and the smaller. And these are the registered ones of the Levites according to their clans. Of Gershon, the clan of the Gershonites. Of Kehat, the clan of the Kehatites. Of Merari, the clan of the Merarites. These are the clans of the Levites, the clan of the Libnites, the clan of the Hebronites, the clan of the Mahlites, the clan of the Mushites, and the clan of the Korhites. And Kehat brought forth Amram. And the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Mizraim. And to Amram she bore Aaron and Moshe and their sister Miriam. And to Aaron were born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Itamar. And Nadab and Abihu died when they brought a strange fire before YaHuWaH. Remember that story?
I remember this story.
And the registered ones were 23,000 every male from a month old and above, for they were not registered among the other children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the children of Israel. These are the ones registered by Moshe and Eleazar the priest, who registered the sons of Israel in the desert plain of Moab, but by the Jordan of Jericho. But among these there was not a man of those registered by Moshe and Aaron the priest when they registered the son of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For YaHuWaH has said of them, they shall certainly die in the wilderness, and not a man was left of them, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Yahushua, son of Nun.
Good.
Wow.
It was a marathon of a chapter,
Yeah.
but it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So what happened here? They run a new census. Why?
Because all the because I think the what happened, the plague, and to realize, and maybe they can see that all the previous generations were already extinguished.
It is exactly what it said. I think it's my belief is that
To prove
with
that.
the plague that came after the matter of Peor, it completely destroyed the first generation.
Yeah.
Because it is said here, but among these there was no man of those registered by Moshe and Aaron the priests when they registered the sons of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. So the first generation passed away.
Yeah.
So
With
that's
only
why.
the exception of Caleb and YaHuWaH.
So that's why exactly YaHuWaH is commanding to do a new census. And I'm wondering if he's going to do a new census again
I think that
in
he's going,
these times.
I think that he's going to do it.
We have the clear indication on the book of Revelation when it's talking about the 144,000. It's talking about the number. But could it be that he's going to run a new census once again? Because it's the second generation. They are just counting the people that is going to the war, to the battle, because it's only men from 20 years old and above. And so could it be?
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know.
No, I think that is going to happen, but I don't know because I don't like to participate in the census that
Yes.
are being taken by the government.
I don't know. There's a lot of sisters that want to go to the war as well. So we are going to pray to Abba that maybe
What?
sisters that want to go to the war as well, to the
Yeah.
battle. I guess so. So, no?
At least not me. Not my case.
But we need to go to the spiritual battle that is happening today. This is the first thing we need to do. Maybe a physical battle will come. Maybe. We don't know. Actually, it's not a maybe. It's coming.
Yeah.
YaHuWaH is the one that is going to fight that battle. But we should not wait for that physical battle to happen. And most probably we're going to be invited to join the army of YaHuWaH in order to participate in this battle. Not the sister, the man. Following what we see in Torah. But we should not wait for that. We have a battle to win now. And I think it's not only men called to fight that battle. The spiritual one.
Yeah. And I think that
It's all of us.
that being echad is something like really important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why, we should not waste any more time. I think, one of the things that have been in my heart for weeks already is that we, as the people of YaHuWaH, we are wasting so much time. And let me clarify what I'm trying to say. Wasting time not engaging into battle. We are going through trials, sure. But when we think spiritually, we are so comfortable. Not trying to go and fight the battle that we are being called to fight. That's why, the time is here. We should not wait anymore. It's time to seek the Ruach of Elohim and to go and fight the battle, the spiritual battle. So, you put some numbers interesting. Lillian put some interesting number together. Let me show it with you. So, what happened between one census and the other?
The other.
So, just give me a second. So, here you have. So, this is a comparison between the first census over here. Actually, you don't see the mouse. Just give me a second. Captured. Yeah, it says. Anyways, the first column, the column C, says first census. Those are the numbers for each one of the tribes in the first census.
When they
for
left.
the first generation.
Yeah, when they left Mizraim.
Exactly. And the next column, second census, are the numbers of the chapter we just read.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, if we go to the bottom line, the difference is small.
Yeah.
It's almost the same number.
Yeah.
It's 1820, the difference. Less in the second census. Okay?
Yeah.
But for me, you know,
No, more.
less.
Oh, yeah, less. Sorry. Yeah. sorry. I was not looking there. Yeah.
So you remember I was telling you, could it be that maybe that he is going to repeat the same number in the last days? I don't know. I'm just speculating because for me it's so interesting.
Or at least the tendency, maybe.
Or the tendency, because I see this number in the first census, the second, the same similar number in the second census, and so on. What if he repeats a similar number, and maybe the 144,000 is just a subset for a specific task? Just speculating. It's not say the word. It's just myself, JC, Juan Carlos speculating.
Yeah, and there are two things that call my attention. The tribe of Shimon and the tribe of Manasseh.
Correct. So who suffered the most of the losses? Shimon. They decreased significantly.
Yeah.
In 37,000 people.
Yeah.
Between one census and the other.
Yeah.
So from 59K to 22K. And the tribe of Manasseh increased
a lot
in 20K.
Yeah.
So it came from 32K to 52K.
Yeah. And I have some more info to add to that.
Actually, if we want to see it graphically, we put just this graphic together so you can see it more visually. It came from the Shimon, from this point to this point.
Yeah, less than the half.
And all of them were losing. Reuben, Shimon, Gad. The only one that was increasing as well was Yehuda.
A little bit.
Yisachar, Zebulun, Menashe. Ephraim also was losing.
Yeah.
Benjamin was increasing.
Dan
was increasing. Asher was increasing. And Naphtali was decreasing.
Yeah.
So
maybe you can go there, because what also called my attention is that in some cases, some tribes, they, for instance, in the tribe of Reuben, they has 3 generations together when they were taking the census.
But it doesn't mean that they were together in the census. It means that it was mentioned the name of the generation.
Yeah.
So many generation has passed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That means. And they were counted. So I think,
were counted?
Yeah, so they were together, according to my understanding.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we have the tribe of Manasseh, and they have...
You want me to go down to Manasseh?
Well, it's not necessary, but if you want.
Okay.
But they have 5 generations together. And that tribe was the one that was reproducing more. So
they were very fruitful.
Very fruitful. So if you take that information, maybe I was thinking that they were kind of advancing the day of becoming parents. Maybe now they were becoming parents at a very young age, like 15 years old, something like that.
Okay.
So maybe that was
1-5.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then Yehuda, Ephraim, Benjamin, Asher, those 4 tribes, they have 2 generations. And Shimon, Gad, Yisachar, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, they were the ones that only have 1 generation. So for me, I found it that it was a kind of very interesting information.
It's interesting.
Yeah, how they were being, I don't know, they were having more family.
So the big question is why Shimon suffered the most.
And we have to go back.
I think we have to go back. Just give me a second. Why Shimon suffered the most? And let's go back to the 25. You know, this musician.
Yeah.
If we can call it like that, because that's the meaning of the name.
Yeah.
is
In the 14th, in Bemidbar or Numbers
verse
23,
14, Simri. It says, son of Salu, a leader of the father's house among the Shimonites. So we can
Yeah,
say that most probably
that tribe.
that tribe was the most
Advanced.
sinful.
Yeah, yeah. They were more bold with their sin.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were bringing the sin into the set apart place, outside of the set apart place. So they were losing even the respect for Allah.
Exactly. And I see Yaakov Nazarim. This is so beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming.
We were
We're,
talking about you the other
yeah,
day.
we're missing you,
and
brother.
also Kyle. Yeah,
And
because
also
we
Kyle,
were
too.
Getty Daniels good.
So it gives us, all these statistics give us somehow an idea of what happened in the wilderness between the generations.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the people from Menashe didn't die.
No.
Actually, they died.
Yeah.
When we talk about in the next chapter about the daughters, they said that
Yeah,
her father died,
yeah.
even though that it was among the rebels.
They were reproducing more faster.
I think they were fruitful. They were reproducing themselves even faster than the rest.
Yeah.
And together with also the other option is that certain tribes maybe didn't suffer that much losses
Yeah. Yeah.
than the rest.
Yeah.
So, and this is very interesting because again, Israel as a body, as an assembly, with different tribes, different members, it gives us, in what we're saying, it gives us a kind of understanding that even though that maybe we can be walking together in the way of YaHuWaH, we are the individual person.
Yeah.
That no matter, it doesn't matter that maybe we are knowing the same, we are walking in the same pace, that maybe I can fail and you are not going to fail, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So that's why, it's so important. And this is exactly what YaHuWaH is looking for. And Yahushua repeated all over and over, is that we need to act as a body. All together, we need to be in the same frequency, Debbie. In the same frequency of Abba. We need to be in the same rhythm. And if I can say so, we need to be in the same music, in the same...
That is coming from...
Exactly, it's coming from him.
Yeah.
So let's go.
So I think that it was kind of equilibrium somehow, if we can call it like that. One was really being sinful and maybe others were not doing that bad. And it at the end, in overall, it was everything almost kept perfectly.
Absolutely. So let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
Or you have something else to share here?
No.
No? So let me read the chapter 27. It says, then came the daughter, it's my time, right?
Yes.
Then came the daughter of Zelophehad, son of Hefer, son of Gilad, son of Machir, son of Menashe, from the clans of Menashe, son of Joseph. And these were the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moshe and before Eleazar the priest, and before the leaders and all the congregation by the doorway of the tent of appointment, saying, and this is also an additional evidence, that they were not entering, getting in.
Yeah.
Is
Outside.
they can be only up to the
The
door
door.
of the tent of appointment, saying, our father died in the wilderness, yet he was not in the company of those who were met together against YaHuWaH in company with Korah, but he died in his own sin, and he had no sons.
Yeah.
So here we have a reference
Maybe he
of the tribe of Menashe, that even though that they were increasing, the first generation was dying as well. So I think you're absolutely right. They were reproducing themselves much faster. Why, it continues in verse 4, why should the name of our father be removed from among his clan because he had no son? Give us a possession among the brothers of our father. Moshe then brought their case before YaHuWaH. And every time that I read this, I found it so beautiful because Moshe, this is exactly what he was doing all the time.
He didn't decide by himself.
Yes, when he didn't have the answer,
It was something new.
he was going to YaHuWaH to consult with. He wasn't going to the judge, he wasn't going to the president, he was going to the leader of the congregation.
Or maybe to a friend or a own.
Exactly, or to the family or to the relatives. No, he was going to YaHuWaH to consult with him. This is a tough thing. How I can do it? If we remember in the book of Shemot, when he appointed the Shofetim, the judges, he told the judges, you are going to judge and provide right ruling without receiving bribes. You need to apply right rulings, and you are going to bring to me only
the difficult ones.
And I'm going to deal with the difficult ones.
Because he was going to take those to YaHuWaH.
And he's taking those difficult ones to Abba. So are we doing the same? Are we taking our difficulties, the tough decisions to him, to let him guide us? Maybe we have not learned completely to understand how he's guiding us. And he's going to guide you in a different way that is guiding me, is guiding you, is guiding anybody else, because it's a personal relationship with Abba. He will work with us according to our personality, our individual being. We are, all of us were different. So maybe he will guide you through dreams. Maybe he will speak to you through other people. Maybe he will talk to you through his word. Maybe he will talk to you through the circumstances of your life. Maybe he will talk to you loudly. You need to find the way to understand how he's guiding you in order to bring to him these difficult cases. That's why Yahushua was saying that, take the burden upon me, I will take it with you. Just paraphrasing. That's exactly the invitation he's giving us. He's opening the door. We should not bring or bear our difficulties alone. We have Mashiach with us, and we need to learn how to do it. Learn practicing these things. In everything that we do, we can learn the theory, and I think we have been learning too much theory. I know that we have been practicing part of the word of YaHuWaH throughout all these years, and not denying that. But we need to put the entire word of YaHuWaH into practice. And the most important thing are these kind of things. How we are going to move ahead during the days of tribulation. If we don't learn how to bring the difficult things to Abba. If we don't learn how to listen to the voice of YaHuWaH and his guidance. If we don't learn how to identify the Ruach of Elohim working within us. It's a combination of things. Walking in the truth of the word. That's why we put, it's not here, but we put, in the title. Let me put it just for you to understand what I'm saying. Here, above our heads. Beruach Baemet. In spirit and in truth. The truth of the word that we have learned, we need to put into practice. But we need to learn how to identify how Abba is guiding you particularly in order to understand how to live your own life and how to do his will. Maybe he has a will, a different task for you than for me. But you are going to be able to identify that task only by seeking the face of YaHuWaH and understanding how he's guiding you. That's why, what I said before is enough of wasting time. And I'm speaking to myself first. Believe me, I'm speaking to myself. We need to seek the face of YaHuWaH. We need to ask him to guide us in these days. Because he wants to use you. He wants to use his people in this time. It cannot be that we are deciding by ourselves, by our own understanding. We have a beautiful Elohim, a lovely Abba, that he wants to help us, that he wants to teach us, that he wants to use us. So I think it's time for us to seeking him consciously with the focus of our heart, to understand, to know him closely, and to know him better. Let me stop. If not, I'm going to continue. Go ahead. Where we are? You know, these kind of things I have to say it. Sorry, but I can contain myself sometimes. I'm going to contain myself now.
There. So Moshe brought
And
their
I'm
case
reading.
people.
Okay, I am reading.
Yeah, you are
Okay.
the one.
And YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe, saying, the daughter of Zelophehad, speak what is right. You should certainly give them a possession of inheritance among their father's brothers, and cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. And speak to the children of Israel, saying, when a man dies and has no son, then you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. And if he has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to the nearest relative in his clan, and he shall possess it. And it shall be to the children of Israel a law of right ruling, as YaHuWaH commanded Moshe. So anything you want to share about that? I think, let me just say the short thing. It's beautiful to see the heart of YaHuWaH in this story. Because what I see is that he promised something. He promised a reward. He promised an inheritance. And he's so lovely is that he wants that inheritance, and that reward is, I'm giving you a gift. I want you to keep it. I want that gift to be to you and for anybody that is related to you.
To you. Yeah, not to
anybody else.
Yeah, and not to have it, not to lose it. Just because he didn't have sons.
Go ahead.
No, that my comment was something more common, that we can see the inheritance, how it's working today. In some cases is following that kind of example. In some other cases are kind of different. But we can see that a lot of laws and things, at the beginning they were taken from here. Especially these and a lot of more. But the problem was that in the work, or during with the years, it was being transformed.
You know what God mentioned? I just saw the comment here in the chat. It's so beautiful because it's true. He promises that women are not forgotten in the inheritance, and it's not a matter to compete. But I think YaHuWaH is taking so much care of women, even sometimes even more than men. And because he is the one defining the way that the women needs to be protected and provided for. And we see a beautiful example in Yahushua. Yahushua, he was somehow showing that love of Abba to his daughter. And actually, there are so many women supporting Yahushua during his ministry, showing love to Yahushua, to Abba. So I think this is something beautiful, and sometimes, it's being forgotten so much, and even it's being depicted in the opposite way. Is that YaHuWaH is not taking care of women? This is just related to men? It's being mentioning men because he's putting a bigger responsibility in men to lead, but he's protecting so much his daughter that what Yaakov said, I think, is a beautiful picture that we see it here in this portion as well.
Yeah.
I just had a pause. I'm gonna mention it anyway because we were talking about the gift. What Yahushua said about the gifts. If we as children, we ask our Father to give us bread to our early fathers, they're not gonna give us a stone or a snake. With the same reason, if we ask our Father for the Ruach HaKodesh, He's going to give us to us. I don't know, it came to my mind, that's why I was thinking. Let me continue.
Much better things.
Verse 15, and Moshe spoke to YaHuWaH, saying, let YaHuWaH, the Elohim of the Ruachot of all flesh, the spirits of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation who goes out before them and comes in. And I think, no, I skipped one part.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
The 12th. And YaHuWaH said to Moshe, go up into this mount Abarim, and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And when you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people as Aaron your brother was gathered, because you rebelled against my mouth in the wilderness of sin, in the strife of the congregation, to set me apart at the waters before their eyes. These were the waters of Meribah, at Kadesh in the wilderness of sin. And Moshe spoke to YaHuWaH, saying, let YaHuWaH, the Elohim of the spirits of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation, who goes out before them and comes in before them, who leads them out and brings them in, so that the congregation of YaHuWaH be not like sheep without a shepherd. And YaHuWaH said to Moshe, take Yahushua ben Nun with you, a man in whom is the Ruach, and you shall lay your hand on him, and shall set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him command before their eyes, and shall put some of your esteem upon him, so that all the congregation of the children of Israel obey him. And he is to stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire before YaHuWaH for him by the right ruling of the Urim. At his word they go out, and at his word they come in, both he and all the children of Israel, with him all the congregation. And Moshe did as YaHuWaH commanded him, and took Yahushua, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and laid his hands on him, and commissioned him as YaHuWaH commanded by the hand of Moshe. You go first.
Well, it's kind of tricky or not tricky, that it could be nice to know when you're going to pass away, that when YaHuWaH said, okay, until now, here, everything is okay, you have to go. I don't know. But anyway, he knows our time. And the beautiful thing that I found, it was in Moshe's heart, because he was worried about what was going to happen with the congregation, how they are going to continue. And even though when he was not going to be here anymore. So that shows us how worried he was about all Israel. He was feeling he was the shepherd, and he wants somebody worthy of taking care of the sheep.
For
So
me,
it
this
was
is
beautiful.
this is a perfect example of the words of Mashiach,
Yeah.
that the invitation to deny ourselves. Because at the time that we deny ourselves, there is no ego. And we just again, what I said before, focusing the condition of our heart on doing the will of Abba, knowing that maybe we are not getting the reward now, but the reward is coming later. And this is so connected to what we said at the beginning as well. Moshe could be focused on the issues based on the matter of Peor. He could be focused on the rebellion of the people in the past. He could be focused on himself, that he was not allowed to cross the Jordan, even though all the efforts he did. No, his focus was the kingdom. It's true, the focus was the people, the flock. But if we see beyond that, his focus was in the kingdom, because crossing the Jordan was basically establishing the kingdom of YaHuWaH, the promise. So his focus was the kingdom. The kingdom has to be established. So YaHuWaH, please appoint somebody else that is going to lead the way for your kingdom to be established. And when we see it in that way, it's so beautiful, because we see the correlation and the foreshadow of Yahushua, a man with the Ruach, being the one leading the way, establishing the kingdom. So we need to follow the same example. Our focus needs to be in the true north, that is the kingdom of YaHuWaH established here on earth. You know, in the same document that Debbie shared with us, one of the points she mentioned is that maybe we need to start crying out for the kingdom to be established. And this should be something basic to all of us, because it's just a matter to take a look in the pattern of prayers that Yahushua was teaching to us. He was saying, let your kingdom come, that your will be done here on earth as is on heaven. So what Yahushua was teaching us to pray is to pray to YaHuWaH, send your kingdom. Send your son to establish your kingdom here on earth. Do your will here on earth as you are doing it in heaven. So what he's talking about is about our focus. Is the focus on the kingdom of YaHuWaH, that we all know and we all feel in our innermost, our inner parts, that is so soon to come, that we need to pray more than ever for that to happen. So this is the heart of the shepherd. Is the heart, is a foreshadow of Yahushua. Is the heart that we need to have, is to take care for one another. If we see a brother or a sister in troubles and it's in the power of our hands to do something, we have to do it. This is what Yahushua was teaching us. But with the focus again, is that let's reach together to the kingdom of Abba. If I can help you, let's go. I can help you. If I cannot do it, but I know somebody else that can help you with something, okay, let's do it together. I want you to reach to the kingdom in the same way that I want to reach to the kingdom. I want us to enjoy this new life and the reward and the inheritance of Yahweh.
And also it's beautiful that he was transferring, like with doing this. It was like everything can be transferred. The sins when they were transferred to the goat, and now he is transferring the authority and the wisdom that is going to the lead that is going to come from YaHuWaH directly. So it's nice.
And giving steam, preparing in front of the people.
Yeah.
You know, this is part of what YaHuWaH does through the Ruach, but also if I'm in a position when it's just passing the post. I'm in a position of authority and I'm going to delegate to somebody else. I need to position this person, and this is applicable to any aspect of life, but especially when we're talking about the kingdom of YaHuWaH. You know what Yahushua did with the disciples when he sent the 2 by 2 and when he sent the 70? He gave them authority. Authority for what? In order to do their service of bringing the good news of the kingdom of YaHuWaH, and not only for that, in order to fight the battle, the spiritual battle. So it's the authority, and that authority is the one that we need to seek in these times. And how the authority is being given to us is what happened with the 120 during Shavuot.
Yeah.
It's by the Ruach of Elohim. Let's continue on the 28th. If not, I'm going to continue talking the entire afternoon, and it's not going to be 3.5 hours. It's
No.
going to be 5 hours, the marathon today. Let's move on.
It's me.
I think I'm reading the
Okay, yes, a new one.
odd
Okay.
numbers.
And YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel, and you shall say to them, Take heed to bring my offering, my food for my offerings made by fire, as a sweet fragrance to me, at their appointed time. And you shall say to them, This is the offering made by fire, which you bring to YaHuWaH. 2 male lambs, a year old, perfect ones, daily, a continual ascending offering.
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Just wanted to check something.
Okay. Continue. The one lamb you prepare in the morning, and the other lamb you prepare between the evenings. So 2 daily. With 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil, a continual ascending offering which was offered at the Mount Sinai for a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to YaHuWaH, and its drink offering, 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. Pour out the drink to YaHuWaH as an offering in the set-apart place. And the one lamb you prepare between the evenings. As the morning grain offering and its drink offering, you prepare it as an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to YaHuWaH. And on the Shabbat day,
Sorry. I
sorry.
can help you.
Yeah, it's not the same with the left hand.
I can do it. So,
Okay.
and on the Shabbat day, okay.
And on the Shabbat day, 2 lambs.
So this is too repetitive, so maybe we can start discussing some of the points.
Okay.
So you just read about the
The
daily offering. So it's one offering in the morning and one in the evening.
Yeah.
And there are different types of offering. This is an Olah offering,
Yeah.
but also what else? Is the drink offering,
The drink and the flour as the grain offering.
the grain offering.
That is mixed with
Okay.
oil.
So this is the continual offering, okay?
And this is the sweet fragrance to YaHuWaH.
It should smell really, when we're doing a barbecue, it smells, it's really nice.
But where it says what it is a sweet fragrance, what else is a sweet fragrance?
Our prayers.
Our prayers.
Uh-huh.
So that's beautiful. That we can see this specifically is our prayers.
And our prayers with melody also.
Yeah.
Songs,
Yeah.
praises,
Yeah.
worship.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
So that's the continual. Let's go to the Shabbat.
now to the Shabbat. And on the Shabbat day, 2 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil, with its drink offering. The ascending offering for every Shabbat besides the continual ascending offering with its drink offering. And on the beginning of your, that's for Shabbat. So we have the 2 continual plus 2.
Maybe we should mention immediately the other thing that we were talking about.
About what?
About the sweet fragrance
Yeah.
before continue reading.
Okay.
So
yeah. I know.
I think it's important to say it. So here in the channel, I have been put together some studies in the past about the timing, the time and the seasons, and some of the things I have learned and I have been sharing with you is that YaHuWaH works with cycles, and there is a yearly cycle as well as a daily cycle. Okay, and in the same way that he has appointed special times in the yearly cycle that we know as Moedim, the feast of YaHuWaH, when he has defined and has invited us to join his party and to approach him and to enjoy his presence and to rehearse the kingdom. He also has established special times in the smaller cycle, the daily cycle. And what are those special times? Is exactly the one that we just read, the continual sacrifice.
The morning.
It's in the morning and in the evening. I remember Rob, or dear brother Rob, put this initiative in the past about the prayers at 4:44. And I think many has been following this, and I think it's a beautiful initiative that
was
if you are
fighting against the other people who
exactly
was doing.
and I think if you are feeling in your heart to follow, you need to do it. You need to follow the guidance of the Ruach. This is exactly what I have been inviting you since always. But something click in my spirit and in my head when I read your document, Debbie. Is about the frequency. And we need to understand that the YaHuWaH has defined these cycles, the yearly cycle, the daily cycles, because those are somehow an evidence of the rhythm of YaHuWaH.
The special moments of him.
The special moments of him is an evidence of the frequency of YaHuWaH, if I can say so. So I think what we need to do beside the 4:44, we need to start praying according to the pattern of YaHuWaH that he's teaching us in the scripture. Let me give you just a few examples of this. If we go to the book of Tehillim, verse 16 and 17, it says the following: I call upon Elohim, and YaHuWaH saves me. When we call upon Elohim, when we're praying to him, when we're talking to him, evening and morning, and at noon, I complain and moan, and he hears my voice. So evening, at noon, and morning, or the other way around, at morning, at noon, at evening, is the time that we need to approach YaHuWaH, because it's the smaller cycle. It's like the Moedim that he's inviting us to partake time with him in order to raise up our voices and pray to him. And we see here the example of David. This is a beautiful example. You know, Daniel, when he was persecuted, it says in the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 10, and Daniel, when he knew that the writing was signed, went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his Elah, and as he had done before. When do you think Daniel was praying? At what timing? I have no doubt that it was in the morning, at noon, and at evening. Why? Because we have a different evidence, and this is something that it should start making click in our heads, especially in our hearts. We have in the chapter 9 of the book of Daniel the following: while I was still speaking in prayer, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, came close to me in swift flight about the time of
the evening offering.
The evening offering. And let me give you an additional example. The father of John the Baptist, he was a priest. We have been talking about that. He also saw a vision. And when he saw a vision, when he was offering the incense.
And that's
in the evening. So if we really want to partake the special times with Abba, we need to follow the pattern. And when we follow the pattern, these kind of things can happen to us. We can have visions we can have revelation from YaHuWaH, because we are acting in symphony, in the frequency of Abba. Can you imagine how beautiful it would be if we are in the different time zones around the world, and you just take a look on when is your morning, dawn in your location, what is evening in your location. And we do exactly the same. All of us, we will be praying, the entire world will be praying in the moments that YaHuWaH has invited us to do. During the morning, during the evening, and during noon.
And since we have this different time, it's going to be like at one, everything is going to be covered. Always is going to be a prayer there for him.
Exactly. What happened, just to give a last example, miracles can happen. It says in the book of Acts, chapter 3, verse 1, and Kepha and Yehochanan were going up to the set-apart place at the hour of prayer, in the night hour. So they were approaching, getting to the evening, getting to dusk. Night is 3 hours, that period of time, in order to pray. And what happened? They felt compassion for this person, and YaHuWaH was using them in order to provide healing. So that's the connection with the prayers. This is something that we need to take to heart and start implementing. I have been lazy myself. I usually prayed in the morning. When in the beginning of my Torah walking, I was praying twice a.
I was praying every 5 minutes.
That's true, but it's important what you're mentioning, because it's true. We need to pray without ceasing. We need to pray all time. But what I'm highlighting are the special moments.
Yeah.
We need to pray at all times. We need to speak to Abba at all times. But there are special moments of prayer that we need to use it, because those are the moments that Abba will talk to us.
It's like Shabbat.
It's like Shabbat, it's like a feast, it's like a moment.
Because Shabbat, he says that he's going to open the door of the temple, and people are going to cross from one point to another. He's going to provide healing in that day. So it's like he already put that moment is set apart for something specific. And it's the same with the offerings.
I can tell you the prayer in the evening is so beautiful. I have had this week so much experiences praying on the evening. My laziness from the past is over. And I'm praying all the time and using these moments, because we know that Abba wants something from us. So why I'm sharing this with you? First, because I saw this beautiful writing you provided to some of us, Debbie. And I think you just got to the right point. Is to get into the same frequency of Abba. But these things that I'm sharing with you is to get into that frequency. Is to talk to him in the right moments, is to seek his face in the times that most probably we're going to have a good chance to partake with him, with his presence. If he's moving you to pray in another moment, you have to do it. It's just to have your mind set to pray in specific times. And let me tell you an experience, and this is something that we should take in consideration and to imitate somehow. Not to imitate what they believe, but to imitate the love in the heart.
The disposition.
Once back in 26, I had because of my job, I have the opportunity to fly to Dubai, to the Emirates. It was my first time getting in so close to an Arab country, and to get in contact with their beliefs. I grew up at church. I didn't have any knowledge of Muslims and so on. And I remember the taxi driver that was taking us from the hotel to the place of work. One day I saw him so stressed because he needed to go fast to a place. And when we arrived to the place, he took a carpet and he went to a place and he put the carpet on the earth. He kneeled down and started to pray. it's something that I will never forget. And if we see Muslims today, they still doing it. And again, I'm not pushing for the beliefs of the Muslim world. I'm just using the example of how should be our heart. If the time of prayer is coming, it doesn't matter where we are. It's the time for YaHuWaH. It's the time for us to approach YaHuWaH, Elohim, Sebaot. This is the example that I'm giving to you. That's the type of heart that YaHuWaH is looking for you and for me. Is that doesn't matter if people is around us. It doesn't matter where we are, if we are in the subway, if we are at work, if we are in the office. It doesn't matter. It's to set our heart right. And when he's inviting us to his feast, his daily feast, we have to attend because he's waiting for us. So meditate on that, because I think it's so important, especially if we want to be in symphony with him and in harmony with him. Let's go back, 28. And we are in the Shabbat. We were going to talk about the Chodeshim, right?
Okay. And in the first month, on the 14th day, is the Pesach of YaHuWaH. And on the 15th day of this month is a festival. For 7 days, unleavened bread is eaten. On the first day is a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. And you shall bring near an offering made by fire as an ascending offering to YaHuWaH. And this is kind of tricky because here we have a change. 2 young bulls and 1 ram, and 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones, they are for you. And their grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil. Prepare 3/10 of an ephah for a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. Prepare 1/10 of an ephah for each of the 7 lambs, and 1 goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you.
It's not coincidence, just to connect to what I said before, that here in this chapter is describing all the offerings in the different moedims, and it's talking about the daily offering.
Yeah.
It's talking about the Shabbat offering. So it means that, in the Shabbat, we need to give an additional offering of praises, worship, and prayer to YaHuWaH. In the moedim, we need to give additional offering, and the daily offerings is continual. It's not ending. Even if in the days of the moedim, the offerings of the moedim are on top of the continual offering.
Yeah. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you what I think about the kind of animals and everything, because I think that it's beautiful. And I don't remember what.
I don't remember either.
Here, and on the one goat
go there.
as a sin offering to make atonement for you. Prepare this beside the ascending offering of the morning, which is for a continual ascending offering. According to this, you are to prepare the food of the offering made by fire daily for 7 days, as a sweet fragrance to YaHuWaH. It is prepared besides the continual ascending offering and its drink offering. And on the 7th day, you have a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. And on the days of first fruit, when you bring a new grain offering to YaHuWaH at your festival of Shavuot, you have a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. And you shall bring near an ascending offering as a sweet fragrance to YaHuWaH, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs a year old, with a grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, 1 male goat to make atonement for you. Perfect ones, they are for you. Prepare them with the drink offering beside the continual ascending offering with its grain offering.
Okay, so you were going to share something.
No, but after we have the other
in
two,
the next one.
Then we are going to realize what is happening.
Got it.
Yeah. Because
So,
if you have something to share, but I think
in this one
we are in
because
the middle.
it's related to the same that I mentioned. By the way, the day of the first fruits is the festival of Shavuot.
Yeah.
So Shavuot is the first fruit, Rashid Katsir is the first of the harvest.
Yeah.
It's important to understand these
difference.
differences. And I think we had
So the
here
daily
something.
offering and the Shabbat, it doesn't mention anything about the goat for the sins. But in the rest, in the appointed times, is adding the goats for the sins, the sin offering.
So in the 14, I had the notes here, and this is something also important that we have failed to implement, and we have to do it. It says, under drink offering is half a hin of wine for a bull, and 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. It says, this is the ascending offering for each month throughout the months of the year. So I think we have clear evidences from the word is that we need to start celebrating the beginning of the months.
Yeah, every beginning of
Actually, when we go to the book of Colossians, it says that nobody is going to judge you for the new month or for the Shabbat. So Shaul was making references
about this
to the beginning of the month.
about the appointed times. Yeah.
So, and here we have an offering for the beginning of the month. We have the story of Shaul, YaHuWaH, and David, when David didn't present himself to the celebration of the new month. What's the point? They were celebrating the new month. So this is something also we should take in consideration, is that we have to celebrate, and it's a new feast. It's a new time to partake with YaHuWaH. It's a special time to partake with YaHuWaH. And actually, it is written in the prophets, if I don't remember bad, it's in the book of Zechariah, saying that the clans of the earth that are not going from month to month or from Shabbat to Shabbat, they're going to suffer some punishment from YaHuWaH. So again, it's referring to the millennial kingdom of Yahushua, is that this is going to be celebrated. So it's time for us, at least for us, we have not doing it, to start. We did it sometimes, but now we need to start doing it. It's just serving YaHuWaH with all our heart.
And about the grain offering and the drink offering is always proportional to the size of the animal. So that's always good to have it in mind. So
exactly. So let's go to the last one. It's the chapter 29. It says the following: and in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you have a set apart gathering. You do not survive work. It is Yom Teruah for you. And you shall prepare an ascending offering as a sweet fragrance to YaHuWaH. 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs, a year old, perfect ones. And their grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, and 1 male goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. Besides, the ascending offering with its grain offerings for the month. The continual offering with its grain offering, and the grain offerings according to the right ruling as a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to YaHuWaH. So
because
here,
it's the first day.
it's a
Yom
triple
Teruah.
offering.
Yeah, triple offering. The daily, the
monthly,
and the
and
Yom
the
Teruah.
So 3 times blessed.
Wow.
3 blessings.
A lot of meat.
Yeah.
The big barbecue.
You're thinking on eating. Come on. I'm thinking on praying. It's just praying 3 times with 3 more efforts,
Yeah, but you know
multiply by 3.
But
Prayers
you know
multiply by 3. No meat and...
But you know why? Maybe that's why we have breakfast, the lunchtime, and the dinner. Maybe it's because it was for that offering, for the period.
No, I have a different view on that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think this is man-made
Yeah,
because
maybe
of the
at the end
cultural thing.
It was distorted. I don't know. Maybe it was changed the reason, but maybe that was the origin of those timing.
It could be. But nowadays, it's an agenda has been pushed in order to keep the people eating and consuming. I think our bodies doesn't need that much
No,
food.
that's true. Yeah.
But it's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm not disregarding your point. I think they were eating, even the Kohanim, the priests, were eating a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe they were fat.
Yeah, but it was a keto diet. No, because of the grain.
No, the grain
Yeah,
offering.
the grain
No.
offering. Yeah.
But it was a full whole food, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah, it was not processed
Yes.
food.
So it says in the verse 7, and on the 10th day of this 7th month, you have a set apart gathering, and you shall afflict your beings, you do not work.
This is Yom HaKippurim.
Yom HaKippurim. And you shall bring near an ascending offering to YaHuWaH, sweet fragrance, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs, a year old, 7 ones they are for you, perfect ones they are for you. And the grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, 1 male goat as a sin offering, besides the sin offering for atonement, the continual ascending offering, with its grain offerings are the drink offerings. So this is also a 3
Yeah, because
multiplied by 3.
yeah, because Yom HaKippurim has its own.
The special
Yeah.
with the 2 goats
Yeah.
and the bull.
Yeah.
And here we have the offering for Yom HaKippurim and the daily offering. So the 7 mornings is a month to eat a lot.
Well, now you're
just-
you're talking
yes.
about eating.
This,
Yeah.
So it says in the verse 12, and on the 15th day of the 7th month, I think in the kingdom we're going to be fat. But it said fat is a blessing. It's written
going
in
to be a
multiple places.
Healthy.
Healthy fat. Okay. Just saying.
No, because the fat belongs to YaHuWaH. So he's going to do something with that.
So he's giving us fat,
But
but
he's
he's
going to
removing,
take it.
taking
Yeah.
the fat out.
Yeah, so-
Okay, good. Like it. Please take our fat now. So it says in the 12th, and on the 15th day, on the 7th month, you have a set apart gathering. You do not survive work. And you shall celebrate a festival to YaHuWaH 7 days. And you shall bring near an ascending offering, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to YaHuWaH, 13 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, a year old, 7 ones they are. And the grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 lambs, and 1 male goat as a sin offering, besides the continual offering, ascending offerings, its grain offering, and its drink offering. So day by day,
This is Sukkot.
yes, beside the daily offering.
Yeah.
So multiply by 2.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why in Hakamatzot, unleavened bread, is not the same thing.
Yeah.
Day by day,
Yeah.
it's in Sukkot.
Yeah. Sukkot.
And somehow it's connected to the great day, is connected that is a foreshadow of the kingdom. I don't know. It could be like that. I don't have the answer. It says, then on the 2nd day, 12 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams and for the lambs, by their number, according to the right ruling. And 1 male goat as a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering with its grain offering and their drink offerings. And on the 3rd day, 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number, according to the right ruling. And 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. Then on the 4th day, 10 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number according to the right ruling. And 1 male goat as a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. Then on the 5th day, 9 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings, for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number according to the right ruling. And 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. So the bulls are going down in numbers. Then on the 6th day, one per day, right?
Yeah, 1 per day.
Then on the 6th day, 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number according to the right ruling. And 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. Then on the 7th day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number according to the right ruling, and 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering.
And this is different.
On the 8th day, on the 8th great day, Shmini Atzeret, you have an assembly, you do not survive work, and you shall bring near an ascending offering, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to YaHuWaH, 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs, a year old, perfect ones, their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs, by their numbers according to the right ruling, and 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offerings, its grain offering and its drink offering. These you prepare to YaHuWaH at your Moedim, besides your vowed offerings and your voluntary offerings, as your ascending offerings and your grain offerings, as your drink offerings and your peace offerings. And Moshe spoke to the children of Israel according to all YaHuWaH had commanded Moshe.
Dun, dun.
So, do you have any insight of why the bulls were going down and the rest not? On why the last day everything went down to only 1? I don't have.
No, I don't have. It caught my attention, yes. And it called my attention the 8th day, because in the 8th day is going to be only 1 bull. It was 7 before. So it was only 1.
It reached to 7. It went down to 7 on the 7th day.
Yeah. And then only 1. And then it was the half of the other one. The ram and the lambs were the half, the perfect half. So it caught my attention, and I remember about this scripture that it says one is going to be taken and the other is going to be left.
Okay.
Maybe something to do with that half. And I don't know, when I was starting with this, I'm always was thinking that it was kind of bull. I don't know, is the strong one, is the one that is going, young bull, is the one that is the leading. And if you compare with the other numbers, with the 7 lambs, well, the 7 lambs for me is also related to the 7 Talmidim of disciples that were left at the end, at the very end, because I remember that after Yahushua was resurrected, he has 2 meetings with the disciples, and at the one it was 10, because it was not Yehuda anymore, and Thomas was not there, and then with Thomas. But then in the shore, in the seaside, when Mashiach was doing a kind of fire, and they were on the boat, it was only 7. So maybe that's telling us that at the end, maybe we're a number, but it's going to be a moment. And in Hasson, it says that a lot of people, even some righteous, are going to depart from the way, because they are going to be fallen in this trap. So we have to be careful and to be considered into the disciples that were standing until the last day, until the last time. So I don't know, I kind of, when I try to see the numbers and the kind of animals, I'm always picturing, I don't know, somehow Yahushua, the Talmidim, and things like that.
Yeah, I think each one of them represents somehow somebody, something.
And maybe it's also representing us, but in different aspects of our lives. If we are a bull, maybe a young bull is from where the meat is being taken. From the ram, I don't know, maybe something else. And from the lambs, usually the wool and that kind of stuff. So maybe it's our life, but in a different aspects.
True. Also the fat.
Also.
Also the fat.
Yeah.
You know, I think just to close from my side, I know I said that this represents our offering, our prayers, the worship, our praises to Allah, but I think also signified recognizing that we own nothing. He is the owner of everything. So by giving something that we believe belongs to us, giving it back to Him is an act of humility, is an act of acknowledgement that He is the owner of everything. And look at it from that angle is just, again, connecting to what I said before, is show the condition of the heart. Those are the special moments for Allah, designed for His people to gather His people to Him. So going to those gatherings with the proper condition of the heart, denying ourselves. Nothing belongs to me, not even my life. Everything belongs to you, Allah. I belong to you. So here is what you have given me is for you. It's the condition of the heart. Maybe we don't have the animals now, we don't have the temple, but we can do it with our prayers, but most importantly with our heart, with our attitude, is to seek Him with intensity, with meodeja, with intensity of the heart, giving up our life to Him, giving it to Him. I think if I have to summarize the offering, I think that's what I see in the bottom line is the condition of the heart, recognizing Allah.
And using that kind of time in the when Ava is saying you can approach to me in these times, I think that they were said so beautifully, because it's like He's giving us all the power that we need from the morning. And if we continue, it's like a booster, I don't know how to say, like He's giving us gasoline somehow that we can continue. And then we have a stop to recharge our batteries and to have it with Him at noon. And then in the afternoon too, because we need Him more than we realize.
I agree.
And also when it says about the 2 lambs, I was thinking, and it was what I was sharing with my parents, because I was realizing that we need prayers more than ever. At this time, we are being tested, we are suffering a lot of trials, and we know when we overcome those trials, I remember I shared this, that we feel so, wow, like we are floating in the air, like lifted up, and it's so nice. But then we're going to face another trial again. And then we're going to feel again weak. And we need to have that power and that sustaining from our Father. And he was saying, 1 string is okay, but 2 chords of 2 strings are going to make it stronger. And 3 are not going to be, they're not going to break. And that 3 chord is YaHuWaH with us. And we have to always think about when Yahushua was saying, if 2 or 3 persons are reunited in my name and are asking something, or they are doing something in my name, I'm going to be in their midst. So I think that's why it's also important. Even if you have maybe somebody who is not maybe a believer, he's going to, and you feel that you are alone, you're not alone. And if you have somebody maybe that you need to pray, and you can even invite somebody that is with you and is the time, and is arrived in the time, and you are not alone, invite them to pray with you and explain them. I want to have this moment, you are with me, do you mind to join me in a prayer? And maybe that person is going to experience something that they need to receive too. So sometimes I know we need our prayers individually, and that's for true, but also we need to do it with somebody else too. And I think that's why maybe there's a lot of animals, sometimes it says the lambs, different lambs. I know YaHuWaH has a lot of time alone, but also he was sharing a lot of time things of the kingdom with the Talmidim, and he has 2 that were really close to him. Then with the other 5 there were 7, and then with the 12, and then with the rest. So it was like layers. So I think that's beautiful.
It's a beautiful word. You know what I can say. It's an insight based on my own experience. You know, the Ruach has been waking me up like in the old times, almost every day at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And, you know, I'm getting up to pray. And what I can tell you is that one of the days it's been more difficult than the others. And those days is when it's much difficult for me to connect in prayers with him. So when we feel the Ruach moving us to pray during the day, or even waking us up during the night, as he has been doing it with me, as Annie told us in our last trip, we have to do it now. Just do it now, the moment.
When you feel.
When you feel the Ruach moving you to do something, do it now. Do it now. Because he's knocking the door of your heart, and it's the moment he will remind you, the moment of prayer. You know, if you need to create the habit, put an alarm in your cell phone or whatever, just for you to remember the time of prayer. But try to develop listening to the Ruach, because the Ruach will tell you here in the heart, and at the moment you feel it, do it now. Go and spend time with Allah. And I think what you said is beautiful, because, you know, the Ruach was sent to the 120 when they were praying all together. So he is in the midst of his people. And I don't know if you feel it, but even though the distance, he is among us. And his presence and his Ruach is touching our hearts, yours and ours, with his presence, with his love, and we just need to be attentive. Okay. So it's been an interesting study.
Yeah, and
Interesting study.
beautiful to see all your names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said something funny, that we can be a kind of animal.
Yeah.
Can I pick an animal? I want to be a donkey.
You want to be a donkey.
Yes.
The talking donkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
A donkey that is the one carrying Mashiach.
Huh?
A donkey that is able to see and speak.
That's
You know?
good. Good.
So I want to be a donkey. A talking donkey. Good. So let's take a look 2 minutes in the chat. If you have any comment or question regarding the portion. Donkeys are furious. That's true, Yaakov. Donkey jiu-jitsu. Very good. Sorry. You know, we'll try not to beat you in your frustration, JC. Please, Karen, don't do. Or maybe sometimes I need to be beaten. They can get rid of coyotes. Okay.
Yeah.
Any plan to travel to the US? Maybe, Shirion. Maybe. We're not gonna say anything now.
We are praying for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abba is moving something.
Yeah. He hears. He listens.
The sacrifice of the wicked is detestable to the Lord, but the prayers of the upright is his delight. Thank you so much for sharing the passage, Yarash. It's a beautiful one. It's just an additional invitation to pray. Tudah Rabah for the study. Tudah Rabah, my friend, my brother, to be with us today.
Yeah. Mary Bussell. Yeah, there.
Donkeys are great in killing snakes and guarding the flock. Ooh.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, James Collette is here.
I know when I first pray in the morning, my day is so much easier. That's true. I feel the same, Jimmy. But when I forget, I do not have the energy. Prayer is crucial for that fuel.
Yeah.
That's true. And believe me, at least in my experience, the one from the afternoon are wonderful. You know, most of my experiences with the Ruach has been during the evening prayers. Though I have been having beautiful experience during the morning, during night as well. But you need to seek your own experience. YaHuWaH will move in you in different ways. Mary, you're still with us.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
And give us the...
All the portions are very interesting. Thank you, Juan Carlos and Lilia. Thank you, Daniel. YaHuWaH te bendiga, hermano. So cute for sure. Okay, Corina laughing. Good. What else? Thank you, JC and Lilian, for your love and faithfulness. Thank you, Jimmy and Maria Isabel. Juan Carlos and Lilian, thank you for your prayers over us during your fast time. Thank you for praying for us and for your love as well, Wendy. Okay. So let's keep it till here, and we will see each other next week.
Yeah.
I think is the last portion. We will have Isador portion next week. Is the last portion of the book of the Midbar. And then we are going to finalize with the last...
Devarim, the last book of the
book. Devarim is so beautiful, Devarim. I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's see what the Ruach is bringing to us in the next study next week. It's been a blessing, like always, to be with you. It's a blessing to be able to share part of the word of YaHuWaH. And it's even more a blessing to see, as I said at the beginning, the love between all of you. I see 69 of you connected, and this is so beautiful. Actually, we reached until 73. You know, maybe YaHuWaH wants to increase the flock little by little. It's up to him. It's his will. We are here just to serve him and to love him with all our hearts, and to be ready to say. We need to learn this in Hebrew. I don't remember how to say it. Maybe Chaim remember. We need to be ready to say to Abba, "Here I am, send me." And this is the desire of our heart. This is what we need to tell the Abba in each one of our prayer. Here I am, send me. So have a wonderful Shabbat. Have a blessed week. See you next one. YaHuWaH be with you all. Shabbat Shalom.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
שבו נראה אותך
בלב אחד כל גוי כל עם
יקים אותי משיח בא
אחד שקם לא חאל
כל הבריאה תשיר עליהם
מכל אומה עם ולשון נקרא בכל הניצחון